Good morning, everybody. Today is February 23rd, 2025, and I realize that the new subscribers and some of the individuals that find me through other people's content don't realize the entire story from start to finish and why I have created this channel and my goal. And I don't make any scripts or anything about what I say, so please bear with me. I suffered through a lot of trauma growing up and throughout my life and into adulthood. And it led me to being diagnosed with complex post-traumatic stress disorder. Well, I was also diagnosed with underlying conditions such as bipolar, and I haven't been technically diagnosed with any types of ADHD or OCD, but which is unfortunate because I think that attributes to why I do the things that I do and why I act the way that I act in moments of duress. And I don't want anyone to believe or presume that I have Dunning-Kruger effect, to presume I don't have that. I don't have any other underlying disorders. I have talked about Munchausen by proxy, but no, the only disorders are the ones that I've just listed. So that I know of, that the doctors have informed me of, and I have been seeking therapy and going to counseling since I was 12 years old and my first suicide attempt. I am sharing this because I want everyone to understand the development behind some individuals' actions. So, i.e., the reaction of everyone's actions toward me. And not everyone. Some people say that I'm not taking accountability for my actions. That is untrue. That's why I'm facing everyone and disclosing all of the horrid things that I had gone through when I was in states of disarray, distress, temperamental fits, panic attacks, even seizures I've suffered because of such severe trauma. And yes, I have had head trauma also. I had a rollover accident approximately 15 years ago or so, and I landed on my head. And in the accident, I had been driving too fast around a curve at night. I was leaving work, Glazy Poe Road, Hot Springs, Mountain Pine, Arkansas area, and I flipped the vehicle and I ended up in a neck brace. I crushed the vehicle and I went to climb out of the vehicle. There was approximately that much space. At the time I was much thinner, so I had to yank myself through the window. But even at the time, this kind of got stuck, so it's hard to get out safely. And so I did. And when I went to reach in for my purse, the strap of the purse was stuck between the ceiling, the ceiling of the vehicle, because it was upside down, right? Here's the ceiling, and here was the console. So if I would have been any further over, if my head would have been tilted over, I would have been decapitated. So I have had near-death experiences. I have had moments where people are shocked that I'm still alive, and I've been told that I'm very special. I don't try to indulge these compliments, these types of, I understand their words of affirmation. I understand that. So to some people, I am a hero. To some people, I'm a saint. To some people, I'm an angel. But I'm here to disclose every part of me, every facet, the things that weren't captured on film and the things that led to my progression, my spiral, and now soon to experience, the upward transition and stabilization of my mental health finally, that I am in a stable place in my life and I'm getting stable help and from the loved ones that I have. I don't, like I said, have any direction for these videos. So please, if you are watching and taking my content, please don't confuse others. This drifting is not cool. You know, like you cannot, or grifting is what it's called. Grifting is not cool. Like you can't tell people that I'm going down a mental path of destruction when that's not the case. And that wasn't the case last time either. I did not do anything wrong. With all of the videos that I'm featured in prior to this date, not all of them, well, most of them, you can see that I am stressed, that I'm scared, that I'm angry at the world, and I don't know where to go to run and hide. And I wanted to share that every moment, every bit of my pain, so that I could share coping mechanisms and the way that I managed to get through it, because it was very horrific, some of it. And I'll disclose those negative things in some of the other videos, and when I'm on my lives, I go back and forth. You never know if I'm going to be in a good or bad mood. I'm hoping to inevitably stay positive at the end of this. That's why I'm confronting my triggers. But I do have to request that some of these cyberbullies refrain from exposing their own mental fragility and insecurities by attacking me, please. Like, it's not healthy, and that's what I'm here to disclose. You need to seek proper mental health care, and I did, and I've had medications on and off, and I'll tell you my experiences with those medications, but people chose medication before what I really needed, which was a stable place of existence, of being. And I'm not entirely responsible for that, because we're talking about my childhood that led into my adulthood, that I had work jobs and I was stabilizing myself at one point, but it was very difficult to afford for yourself as a single young lady trying to just be herself and not fooling around and stuff. No, I mean, there's not enough money. What was I supposed to do? I had nothing. I came from nowhere. I got student loans. And then those student loans added up, they racked up, and I was unable to afford my housing, my stability. And then I couldn't finish my college, you know? I don't feel like that's entirely my fault, man. I didn't get the proper tools that everyone else got. Can I get some of those tools? That'd be great. Some of these coping mechanisms from healthy households with parents that stayed together and that didn't beat you, didn't have domestic violence. That'd be great, you know? But I don't have that. I'm here to tell you part of the other side, the domestic violence that no one saw. My parents that were never separated because my parents lied about it. And they stayed together. They stuck together because they said family was first. And I didn't understand that at first. And everything comes back around, because when everything came falling apart around me, the only people that were there for me, truly, were my parents. The man who had abused me, molested me, allegedly raped my sister, I don't know what to say. And my mother, she was just a teen mother when she had us, began her family. And she didn't know how to react because she was getting violently abused at home. And here I am, a woman scorned. If you prick me, do I not bleed? The Merchant of Versailles. Shakespeare. I saw a rendition of that play, and it was a movie that was on TV somewhere. But you know where I want to say that I saw that? A psychiatric facility when I had my time out, because everyone told me that I was the one that had the issues. because I kept spitting the truth at everyone. No, 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 he touched me. No, 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 he raped, like, I'm not supposed to use that word. People get offended. Why can't I be myself? Why do I have to watch my tone and words for you? You don't know the type of trauma I'm going through. You may see a sensible young lady that is well put together, but that is not quite the reality of it. And that's why I'm here to disclose it. You can't judge a book by its cover. You can't judge individuals without receiving that karma. I have judged individuals growing up, presuming that I was better than. And I'm here to tell you that will get knocked down very quickly, that type of attitude, because what goes around comes around. Not everyone likes to hear that, but it's the truth. And I'm here to share every nitty-gritty detail with you about how I managed to survive all the horrendous, dysfunctional chaos that I endured. And I know I've been telling people I want to write a novel one day, and I still intend to. I just need to find that steady stability for longer than just the last, couple of years. It took me a while to build up. It's not that I rely on just my fiance to stabilize me, not at all. He is one of the main reasons, though, I am able and willing to discuss all of this. And at some point, he is wanting to sit down with me on camera. So, because he has nothing to hide either. He's a great individual, and he has no record. He went to the military, and I love him very much, and he truly loves and adores me, and even tells me in the mornings when we part that the sweetest things that I don't want to tear up about right now, but it's everything I've ever dreamed of. It's everything I've ever hoped for. And yes, in some of the videos I cry. Yes, I do shed tears of joy at times, and I don't know how to take compliments because I have a bit of social anxiety as well. A bit of ineptitude toward social I wouldn't say social interactions, engagements, but yeah, finally you get to see the side of me where I am calmer and more compassionate, because that's who I've always been. All through growing up, I know that there are a lot of the trolls that had taken my transcripts from all of my criminal record. Well, why don't you find my educational records then? Why don't you search for those and slather those all over the internet for me, please? That would help me, so that I can disclose every detail in its fullest and as truthfully as possible from my version of the events. So I don't mind. I don't mind that the trolls keep coming back and everybody keeps saying, well, they just are attention seeking. They're trying to abuse you. I understand where they're coming from. I know they're seeking attention for a reason. I know that sometimes the hackers want to come back because they want that spot in that moment to feel special. And that's okay. I don't mind sharing the spotlight. I am not that conceited. I'm not that egotistical. And I enjoy sharing. I'm a very compassionate person when you really get to know me. And I'm just grateful that I share with them what true mental health issues are. Cyberbullying is one of them. And that usually means that the individual is insecure, suffering from some form of agoraphobia generally, where they don't want to leave their house. And I had that too as well. I do have tryptophobia as well, which I don't mind disclosing, because what are you going to do? Throw my fears at me? Ooh, I just hate that though. I hate seeing like the cluster of, you'll understand if you look it up. But what I was telling you in the beginning is that, yes, I did get assisted through facilities with my mental health and its stability. And that's where I found the terms to be able to research in order to find my very own personalized way of coping, which generally I understand doesn't look the greatest, because now with my complex post-traumatic stress disorder, I oftentimes snap in the moment when somebody is attempting to hurt me, traumatize me, belittle me, berate me, accost me, all of these things. I don't like it. Please leave me alone. I'm trying to get my thoughts out, and I don't need that. I'm a very peaceful person. I'm a very calm person until I'm around people that are arrogant, obnoxious, self-absorbed, know-it-alls, and suffer from, what is that, Dunning-Kruger effect. So that's what's wrong. It's not it's yourself. And I would take this opportunity to look in a mirror to really see beyond what you see and see through the eyes of others. I attempt to do that every day. And I see where other people thought that this was a spiral downward immediately. It is not. I'm doing very well. My cats, sorry. I just wanted to share a little bit of my story and the progression of the events, and I will be disclosing details of my childhood, the way that I was abused, the way that I was tormented by my parents. One of my brothers did molest me. I have 3 of them, and I have 1 sister, and we come from the same parents, and they stayed together up until I was 18, and then they divorced. And I always thought that was insane. If you didn't like each other, why did you make us suffer through your fighting when you could have just given us to a family that had the resources to tend to us? Because I don't believe, honestly, that my parents truly loved each other. It was just lust. And now here I am, the inevitable outcome of that lust and that pain and suffering. And I want people to know, when you go around and you procreate and you're conceiving children forcibly, those children end up damaged. Those children end up hurting later because they don't know who they are and what they are and why they came from a, for lack of a better word, rapist. You know, it is what it is. So if you're not going to tend to the mother, if you're not going to be there side by side with her all the time, you took advantage of her. You took her body. You forced her into a state of disarray because now her hormones and her body have morphed into something that she's unfamiliar with. That's exactly what happened to me when I was 25 years old and I accidentally gave birth to, and I say accidentally because I was on birth control. It's not that I didn't want her. I love Tara. I love her. I needed her in my life. I did not want children in general, but I guess God had different plans for me because I was being lusty and I was still fornicating with my boyfriend, and he did end up turning into my ex-husband, but he wasn't right for me. And now that child is out there somewhere and she's going to be suffering without me, and it's because we didn't love each other truly, purely. And I would love to see what children of true love really grow up to accomplish, because I'm sure that they are much more accomplished than I. And I may have a story to tell, but that doesn't mean that I'm not jaded. That doesn't mean that I'm not, tainted in my eyes. I'm damaged because instead of all light and love, I have to think about the darkness too, that balance, the equilibrium I talk about, that infinite loop of negative and positive, which we should all know through school, chemistry, science classes, human anatomy classes, even math can prove that. So if people are attacking me over things that they don't know, then they generally aren't educated. And that's what I'm trying to help them with. If you're over here spending hours bullying someone, why don't you spend hours being productive encouraging yourself, educating yourself, and then that way you won't have that natural response, that aggression. I don't have that natural response generally. And as you saw when I had one of the trolls, Master Troll, had attacked me on one of the live feeds, I generally don't have a bad attitude. I don't. It's some other people that do it. You know, that the angry trolls, the haters, everyone calls them, the negative individuals in the world. I try to keep a positive mindset. There are some things I just can't deal with, and I can feel it sometimes. I can feel negative energy off of people. And I've had premonitions, and I've had these dreams that, you know, and I've always had dreams and daydreams about becoming extremely successful. Ever since I was a child, it's almost like I had these thoughts. One of them, when we would get yelled at and our father would be very mad and we'd have to, for hours on end, try to cheer him up. When everything was said and done and everything was everything was all better, we would gather around each other, all 7 of us, and just bask in the love. The love we had for one another, even though it was damaged and tainted. And sad love. Like the love that I have for my sister still, for being my protector and guardian when I was growing up. And I feel sorry that her story went a little bit differently than my own. So, I would think as a child when we were all better and we were gathered in one room, this would be the perfect, and this is a child's mind thinking back. It's like, I wish this whole room would just turn into a spaceship and shoot us all to space together as a family. Everyone I love, most of all, here in one close proximity. And I don't know where I keep getting these ideas of space and time and stargazing. And I tell people, I'm just like you, only a little different. I've said that numerous times. And then when I was in bits of like pieces of psychosis, I would say things like, just odd things that kind of freaked people out. And I can't think of what I was just thinking of, but I'll probably relay that in another video. So if you want to keep that in mind, that fragment of the story, I'd appreciate it. I am not telling you about my day. I'm telling you a recap of my events today, right now, before I go on my live. And I just fed the cats and I just, aired out my bed because, the dust mites need an hour to air out before you can make your bed safely. So I made my bed and I showered and I did my hair. I have to still go do my dishes real quick before I start my live, but I want to make sure all my chores are done before I engage in any type of recreation. And I want others to understand that I'm not trying to take advantage of anyone. I'm not trying to take advantage of the system. I'm not trying to take advantage of myself even while doing this. And that's why I need times where I have to step away from social media because the energy I'm receiving is toxic and I have to breathe, The terms I also came across with some of these therapists and everything, and some of these individuals that counseled me were words such as empath and hypersensitive, HSP, and prescient, foreseeing the future. I don't know what I am. I don't know who I am, but I've told people many times, I don't feel like I belong here. I said that many times when I was growing up. This isn't supposed to be happening. This isn't what I signed up for. And I remember when I was in a state of such mania that I was telling people that that's not the contract I signed for this soul. This was not my soul contract. What happened? Where are the things I was promised in this life? And everybody's like, well, some people, not everybody, some people say, well, you've got to earn it. You've got to earn what you get, and that's just how it. No, some of us just know. We're here for a short time, and we're here to experience this as a first experience, but we feel as though we've been here before. And I also feel all the time that I shouldn't be dressed this way. I shouldn't be dressed in slacks. I should be dressed in a long dress, a big fluffy dress. Like the period piece movies that I watch, from like the 19th century and so on. That's what I've always told people. And I really wish that I could get psychics and mediums to help me engage with what they believe, what they see in me. And a lot of people tell me things about seeing a white light around me or seeing light around me or my aura, the color is great, but I'm sure it depends on the mood, because I'm sure that I could darken somebody and just torment them for the remainder of their days with a few short sentences. I have traumatized others, not meaning to, in my state of confusion. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know where I'm going with this. I don't know what's going to happen, but I do know that at least I'm sharing my story. And yeah, it looks like a woman scorned. And yeah, it looks like I'm gloating sometimes. Yeah, it looks like I'm proud of myself. Why shouldn't I be? I've accomplished a lot. I'm very humble. I know I'm very humble. And people tell me I'm humble. So, and if you see me in person, I cower because I'm shy. And like, even around my fiance and dating, I was a lady. I tried to be. I wasn't trying to be flirtatious and provocative or any of that. I do understand that a bit of, cleavage goes a long way and everything. I understand that. It really engages, it helps men to focus, I suppose. I don't really know. Apparently staring at breasts is beneficial for men. But speaking of men, I have never come across a man so entirely, absolutely as open-minded and compassionate as my Robert. I thought all men were the same. I was going to write a novel based upon all the men that had taken advantage of me throughout dating, who had promised me the world, said, if you lie down with me for a night, that it would make things better. But it didn't, did it? You were evil, and you took advantage of me. And you took advantage of me when I was weakest. And somebody had made a comment too, had attacked me, and said something about some of the behaviors I had done in the past. And I said, I'm sorry. If you're suggesting that you suffer from absolutely no form of mental illness, and you are messaging me as a cyberbully to attack a sentient being, one that has cognitive reasoning, and you believe I'm worse because I had taken the life of a couple of animals because I knew they would suffer in the long run. I did it out of compassion for those things. The bully breed, pit bulls, were banned in the area. Where were they going to go? Nobody would have wanted them. So, and that's unfortunate because it's not all based on the breed. And that's the same concept you'll see within race and humans. It's not all based on the race, it's based on the individual. That's why I kept telling everyone, I'm an individual. Why are you attacking me? Why are you arresting me? Why are you not believing me? I'm an individual. Look at my entire background. Look at who I am, why I am telling you these things. Help. I'm help. That's what I think of the fifth element. Help. When she says help, like I'm speaking another language to you people. Did I fall from the sky? I don't understand. Can I at least get my words out? And apparently I've got to put it in layman's terms and cuss up a storm, because none of the arrogant individuals that attack me seem to recognize their own faults. So like I was saying, wouldn't you believe that since I suffer through mental illness and distortions and ideations, wouldn't you presume that I'm inferior to you psychologically? Why would you attack something that is inferior to you? You are proving that you are just being a bully, that you are just being a troll, and you wish you had the attention that I had. You're envious of me, and that is sad. Stop. Go find your own fame, infamy, such as myself. I don't presume to be famous. I just infamous in some forms. I don't mind either or. And I never intended to be in the spotlight like that. I was very shy, but I am born a Leo. Those characteristic traits fully describe a majority of my personality. And I feel like I just want to share my synchronicities with the world. I want to share my connectivity. I want to share my communication skills. I want to share where and how and when and why, because I want you to know things can get better. Have faith. Have focus. Find love within yourself first. I had to love myself before I found the love of my life. So I want you to not to admire me or to idolize me at all. See me as an inspiration, possibly. But am I trying to influence you in any way? Only to be more positive. That's all. If I could do any one thing, it would be to get you to take care of yourself. Because in this life, nothing is promised. Because everyone is greedy, it seems. Everyone wants to take advantage of one another. I haven't met all the people in my world yet. I know that. I know I was meant to share and to bring people together and to mediate and to confuse and to entertain and to guide, because that's what these videos are. They're for TLC, my daughter. They're for the love of my daughter. These are love notes to my children that are lost to me in this life. Those children that came from my body, my being. I was their vessel. And I pray that they end up so much better off than I could have provided or afforded for in domestic violence situations, such as the one with my ex-husband, such as the one with the father of my son. And I thought about this. I thought, what if one day my son grows up to have respect for someone that thrust himself upon me when I didn't consent? What if he has respect for that man, for conceiving him? Please don't. That would destroy me. I was my body you used to come through. That man, I don't know why he had done what he had done, but that wasn't love. That was lust. So if ever you have issues, please blame your father. But please know, I never meant to give you up, and I never meant to hurt you when you were near me, so close to my heart. I never hurt your sister like that. I never smoked with Tara like that, and I never ran around, and I never did psilocybin. I'm so sorry to my son for everything that had happened. I didn't know what to do, how to do anything. I reached out, no one helped, and I attacked myself because of that. And that's what happens. And way back, since I do sort of follow along with the Catholicism and Catholic faith, I was born into it. That is technically what I am. I was baptized in it, and I cannot not be a Catholic. So, as such, I do believe in God. I do believe in the universe. I do believe in everything all at once, so science as well. But everyone's version of God is introspective. So that's your own opinion of what you believe God is. Some people believe he doesn't exist. He, she doesn't exist. It. I call it it. So that way people don't get confused. It is out there. It is creation. And just because they put it in a masculine form doesn't really necessarily mean it is entirely masculine. You know, just like we are a balance of masculine and feminine energy at times. So, I just feel like, I'm sorry. I wish I would have had the opportunity to be able to care for both of you today. But that didn't happen. And here we are. And I'm still trying to find my happiness through all of that pain and trying to find some way of coping and making it better and healing that wound of those children being lost to me. And those children that were lost to me before they were even born. They do all mean something to me. Every child is special. Every child is unique. But let's be honest. Those children that are forced into the world like I felt I was, I even blame my parents. Why did you bring me into this world? Why? If you weren't going to fulfill those contract needs, or, you know, those things I know I need, those things I know I was supposed to get. And every time I would watch things like the princesses on Disney, I thought, I feel like I can relate with that. I feel like I can relate with the king and I feel like I can relate with all of these things, and I would like to be fancy. I would like to be beautiful. I would like people to look at me and admire me too, and so that I can admire others and we can admire, you know, and be happy and dance together, you know? I guess it sounds wild to other people, my perception, but to me it sounds perfectly fine and stable and sane. Do good, be good. Have faith, focus, love. And my father always said, willpower, willpower. And it's all about family. So I did learn from my dad positive things. And that was to have the willpower to succeed, to keep going. And if I could do anything to pay back my father for showing how much he loved me throughout the years, not in a perverse way. He did it in a loving way. He spent time with me. We had hours of conversations, positive ones, where he told me about his childhood and how abused he was by his father. And I absolutely admire my father, regardless of him and his pedophilic tendencies growing up. He has changed. He's not the same person. And when I was 16 was the last time he has ever attempted to fondle an underage individual. Okay? Don't think he's a monster. Entirely no one is. And I know that some people would say, oh, that's not true. But even monsters such as Adolf Hitler loved something, if not themselves. Is that not true? And is that, in a way, not a fragment of God? Are we not all a fragment of God? Quit contradicting everyone. You know? Everybody. contradicts themselves. All of these religions contradicting one another. Excuse me, what? We're all human. We're all here to experience this for the first time. Quit restricting me. Quit enforcing your will upon me. Quit engaging with me or interacting with me if you're wanting to bring me down. I've had enough of it in my life. You can move on. Go seek help yourself. Quit envying me. Quit forcing others to envy me. Quit idolizing or trying to praise me. I mean, honestly, I know. Thank you for the praises. Thank you for all of that. But I tear up and I cry because I feel like I don't deserve it. Because I'm not entirely and it's not that I'm not entirely truthful. Yeah, that's how I was feeling. This is what happened. Yeah, I wasn't in the wrong. And yeah, why didn't anybody stand up for me? Where's my superhero? Why do I have to give away free therapeutic advice constantly and even to my relatives when I told them years ago, you get therapy, go seek therapy. And they laughed at me. They mocked me for therapy. And then I came back with all of these intellectual, cultured terms. And then they wonder, oh, why are you so prissy? Why are you so uppity? Oh, you're snobby. You're stuck up. Excuse me, no. I'm trying to better myself. I'm trying to appropriate myself, not only for myself, but society. And society is obviously more toxic now than it has ever been, since we're all exposing all of these disgusting and horrid little mental issues we have. So, and then engaging with one another, attacking one another. I hear all these things about different types of YouTubers. I don't want to be a part of any of that. Do not stalk me. Do not try to come to me. We have cameras. He owns guns. And that's not a threat. It's a promise. Leave me alone. So, I don't know what to tell you. Do not come here looking for things that I don't have. The only thing I have is love to offer. And if you trap me in a room forever, which you have, I still came out better. In the end, I still will shine brighter than any of those individuals talking smack about me. It's the truth, and that's sad, and I don't mean to say it like that, and I'm not trying to be all, oh, but sometimes you have to be talked down to. I have to be condescending, talk to you like children, break it down on your level, apparently, that you're acting so immature and childish. Which reminds me, I did that to my fiance yesterday when he was changing cat litter. And I was like, do you remember when, and I was like, are you paying attention? And he was like, you're talking to me like a child. And I said, that's what I do to them online. So, yeah. So anyway, I do all kinds of random stuff in my videos. Please feel free to comment, share your stories, experiences. We want to try to work through the negativity to get that positivity out there. And of course, I wasn't seeing the positive when I was going through all the negative years ago, when, I initiated all of this exposure of my story. This seems a bit premature, but I'm not really sure why I was guided to do this. Why I was told, share yourself. Anyway, rocket. 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 Oh, come on, Rocket. Make an appearance. This is Rocket. She was a homeless little kitty. We were both homeless at a point. I gave her a home because I loved her. I loved you. I love you. And sometimes I get so, and she knows. She said, I didn't sign up for this. I did not sign up for kisses right now. I didn't. I'm out. Get over it, lady. No, I need kisses. I need kisses. I need them. I need them. I need them. I need it. I was just talking about something very upsetting for me. I could use your love. And I like your purring. She does a lot of purring. She's a very good kitty. This This is my love. This is where I found peace and harmony. Right here. The loves of my life. And I'll show you one of them too, one of these days soon. And yes, my mother does help. And, being able to have open communication and peace and forgiveness with my family, that feels much better. And people are like, well, then why do you keep shoving it in everyone's face? I wonder why. If it's still on my mind, and I'm the one suffering for it being on my mind, why not give it back to the individuals that forced me to suffer? Let them have a few minutes with it and carry my baggage. You carry my baggage, And if anybody needs, help, please go find some mental health care. I can't do it for everyone, and I can't comment to everything all the time. So please be mindful. I try to reach out, and I try to... What's the word? Oh, it eludes me. Evading capture. No, shoot, it's gone. I'm sorry. Those thoughts. If you want to be jealous that I got such a good kitty. And she wouldn't even let anybody else touch her, I bet, because she won't even let my mom touch her. And my mom's the one that saved her initially and gave her her first bath. My mom did it all. And she went to my mom for it first, in the first night that she slept between us when we had her inside. She slept inside for a couple of days, but then she wasn't getting along with my mom's cat, Loki, the black one. And so she was hissing at Loki and not very, she was very upset, but she liked us. And so I was like, no, oh no. So she had to stay outside again. And then for a week and a half, she stayed there until I told Robert about her. And he was like, you should bring her. And I was like, oh, really? My Viking kitty. My Viking marriage kitty. My Viking marriage kitty. I'll take a good girl. Oh my God. I need to get a pet sling so I can just roll around the house. Oh, my baby. Shaking baby. Shaking baby. Syndrome. I would never do this to a baby, mind you. Never. She's furry. She's furry. No. It's so fluffy. It's so fluffy. Okay. All right, everybody. I guess I'm going to get off of here for the time being, go get my chores done, and get back around to a live chat here shortly. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. I'll upload these things I've done in the morning just now. And please don't let the trolls get to you guys. I know you want to fight and defend me and get them back. I get that. But karma is a bitch. I know firsthand. They'll get it. And I don't need to sit there and argue with every single one of them. If I could ask them why they are doing that, that's why I keep saying, are you okay? Because that's just it. Why are you attacking me? You don't know me personally. You don't. If you find people that know me personally, please get their experiences from them about me. Please. Sure. I don't care. Positive or negative. You're going to see both sides. Mostly positive. That tail flick. I am not happy. I'm going to go. No, she's happy. She's just fine. Anyway, have a blessed day, everybody. Today is Sunday, February 23rd, 2025, and this is Leticia Collins, legally. That's not actually my name. Collins is, I just haven't had the money to switch it back, and why do that if I'm going to get married and switch my name again? So, but yeah, Servin is my maiden name. Have a great day, everybody. Mwah. Bye-bye.